Hello, everybody.
The hero of time saying, I'm kissing my wife on top of her head like a little gay boy. Congratulations. Congratulations on having a wife. My wife.
Okay, there's you, me. Music's playing. So let's put this other music on.
Alright, I'm recording the pre-show. There we go. Kind of slacking on the pre-show recording lately, sorry. It was the end of the year, you know. Rough. We're back, boys.
Alright.
Hey, you guys hear me?
But-
Start cheering
Yum,
now!
yum, 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 yum.
Okay, you guys hear that? They hear that.
Yes. Mike, are you okay with the news? Or you want other news?
I mean, there's not much news.
It's not much. It's just like
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're good. This is the big
didn't miss
stuff.
something. I don't know what happened.
I mean, there's one thing I want to talk about. Well, I can
All right.
incorporate it into Final Fantasy, so it's gonna work out.
All right.
Yeah, this is good. You did a good job, Christian.
Thank you. I mostly copy and paste from other people.
Yeah, who doesn't? Okay, we could just listen to Lonely Rolling Star for 2 hours. I kind of do that sometimes. I think we're
Just
good.
doing that in the dark, do nothing else.
Yeah,
just listen to that.
while weeping, of course.
I mean, you gotta weep.
You gotta weep. All right, I think we're ready.
All right,
Mike,
are you
should
ready?
I count you in?
Do it, bitch. You won't.
Okay, I mean you're right. I'm kind of scared
All
now.
right. Well,
Uh,
yeah. It's the bad boy of media.
I'll fade back. We just go. Where's my mouse cursor? All right, in 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now! Yeah, let's get this over with! Yeah!
Woof, woof. Today we have our very important and special Nintendo Awards.
The most important Nintendo awards.
Please be excited. Monster Hunter Wilds, is that really gonna run on a Switch too? I don't know. I guess we'll see. And is Final Fantasy 9 reboot truly dead now? But first, Jeff Grubb, how is it going, buddy? How you doing?
Woof woof. I'm doing that for everybody who's gonna get mad at you for not saying woof woof. Just helping you out there.
You know, something felt wrong. I was like, I'm blowing something here. You know, I was multitasking because I got a work email. I was still trying to get these physicals sent out from the bombathon.
Of course.
And I've gotten a home for all of them but one now. And it was like, it was this late party thing. This guy's like, I don't have a PS5. I'm like, I want to be like, take it anyways. You want it. It's your problem now, this game. But I'm like, oh, okay, I'll pick a different winner. Sure, that's great. But yeah, no. So, it's being back at work, checking the emails, getting into the flow of things. It's going. All right. How about you? Are you feeling kind of back at it now? We got work going. We did the Bombcast today. You've been doing some Absalom runs, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I'm feeling back at it to the point where it's like, oh yeah, this is what it's like to like not have enough time to do all this other stuff I was doing while on break, including like just taking care of the house and stuff like that. But I think I did like get a cleaner for the first time in a long time, and they're on their way on the 9th. So it's like I have to like clean my house so they can clean my house, Like
Yeah.
They don't like pick up, they don't organize. So like that's a big thing of it. And like there's kind of a mess still from Christmas. So it's like tomorrow when I don't have a podcast, the plan is get all this shit picked up so they can clean the surfaces and make it look like people actually care about this place. That'll be nice.
Yeah. I have a lot of cardboard boxes right now, right? Because it's stuff that was ordered over the holidays or came in for me from the holidays. So I have all these cardboard boxes, and like I'm taking like some of them out every trash, but I don't want to just put out a dozen cardboard boxes for the trash. I guess I could. I guess that's what they're there for. But I don't know. Recycle them or whatever have you, or burn them even.
Yeah.
Is it bad to burn cardboard boxes? I know it.
I don't know. Maybe.
It's fun.
I mean, I think if you live in like
It's wood.
the middle of nowhere, yeah, right. It's paper. If you live in the middle of nowhere, people burn their trash all the time, and I kind of envy that. I'm like, this seems like a good time because it is. even though they always take all the trash, even when it's like I have the 2 bins, I have the big trash bin, the recycling bin, and they're always full to the point where it's like, okay, there's overflow. And they always take everything. No questions asked. They're always very good about it. I tip them at Christmas. That's great. I still feel embarrassed and like I'm annoying them because we put out so much trash, Mike. Yes, I do have to. I feel bad if I don't tip my my trash guy.
I mean, it's nice. I just like how do you do that? Do you do that online? Do you have to run? Do you run out there and like give them
one
money?
year I did do that. Since then, every year the trash guy leaves a little like card on the thing around Christmas time, and I just Venmo him. So yeah, I think they're getting savvy about it. I think they make out during Christmas time, is my understanding.
I mean, look, are we gonna begrudge the garbage men getting a little Christmas bonus for the love of God?
Put money in the trash, says Ethan Blank. Yeah, just put money in the trash.
Yeah, for the love of God, let them have it.
Either they're getting it or the raccoons are. I don't know. Yeah, so I always feel embarrassed when I have like way too much trash, which is frequently with 2 little kids.
Sorry, this is a cultural thing that I had to say. In Argentina, we give them booze.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
The trash. Yeah, she's like, oh, here's like some like
Is it presumptuous to like all garbage men drink? But I mean, I suppose many garbage men do.
I don't know why. It's just like a thing that happens here. So
okay. Well, good for them.
All right, so why don't we get into this? Let's start about some news, including some kind of interesting looks at Metroid Prime 4's development. Like Andrew Robinson has reported on this at VGC, but kind of talking about this interview from the dev team with Famitsu that itself was translated by Nintendo. Everything, everybody's working this story, it turns out. But Metroid Prime 4 Beyond finally came out last year. We know it was in development for a long time, and at one point changed hands, Bandai Namco, to Retro. And it seems like Retro didn't reboot the game maybe as much as we thought that they did. And they initially kind of had like maybe this open world vision. And then once the game was kind of getting close to completion time and it became clear that maybe that wasn't going to completely work out, it wasn't a matter of time to reboot it again. It was, well, how do we make this work and still release it in a somewhat timely manner?
Sounds like they did like think about rebooting it again. And everyone was like looking at each other like, we can't do that. That's crazy. So they just sucked it up and put out the best version of what they had. And that's what this game feels like, the best version of what they had. And I find it admirable that they were able to make anything out of what was clearly a complete mess. But yeah, it makes me long for what could have been had they just like set their sights on a Metroid Prime game instead of whatever this is. That would have been nice.
Yeah, exactly. Like I guess, I think they realized they may have been in some trouble because there were some people who, even when they're looking at the trailers, like, oh, we're just going to have Metroid Prime game, but how's it going to evolve? And I want to be like, shut up.
Yeah.
We don't get any Metroid Prime games. What are you assholes talking about? Just let them make one of those.
And I feel like I remember saying on this show over the last 7 years at some point, whenever we started this show, wasn't 7 years ago, but close. I'm sure at some point I was like, Metroid Prime could have its Breath of the Wild moment. I didn't mean like make it exactly like Metroid Breath of the Wild or even open world. Just like, give it
figure out like the one new big shakeup that kind of makes it feel fresh.
If you want, even like it's like Metroid Prime was not in need of that in the way that I feel even Zelda was. We haven't had as many Metroid Primes as we've had Zeldas, first of all. But also it's like, I mean, if you just made Metroid Prime 1 today, that game would still be in the running for Game of the Year. So you could just keep doing that.
The biggest hints of this, Jeff, were like, one, the existence of that desert in the first place. But then the biggest one was when the game seemingly opens up and Miles is like, you need 3 more keys. You can go get them in any order you want. And then that is just not the case.
Yeah,
you have a very specific order of events you have to do, which is like normally like kind of fine. But then putting that in to this world that seemed designed for a more open structure. So yeah, you kind of get a sense of what was going on there. I'm a little surprised they're already talking somewhat candidly about that development history. And I bet we're going to learn more about it throughout the years. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, to me, that almost gives me hope. And again, that could be hopium/copium. Someone who really wants a real Metroid Prime game still, and I don't use real as pejoratively. I just use it as a personal like, hey, this is not the game I wanted. That's all I mean. As someone who wants them to have another chance to make a real one, the fact that they're out there talking about this to me suggests that like everyone involved knows what's going on here and kind of understands. and wants to like set the table for what might happen next. I'm not going to get my hopes up too much, but I've said this a bunch of places. It does seem like they're suggesting this, that they've put in a lot of work to be able to make this game in the first place. Might as well use all those like things that are in place to try again. I think it could happen, and I'm hoping it does. And them talking this way makes me think that they believe they're going to get the chance to do that. Nintendo even understands that.
Yeah. And, in that context, the fact that they had a game that has, like an 81 average score, and like, a lot of players seem to like it, actually.
Yeah.
They seems like maybe they did a relatively good job. We'll see what the sales are. I kind of imagine it's going to be normal Metroid, which I think will be good enough, right? They want to, relatively keep making Metroid games that they weren't happy enough with 2.5 million sales every now and again with these things. But I don't think this is not going to be the big breakout moment for the series. Like maybe it could have been under better circumstances, right?
Yep. Should not be. Yep. That's fine. I hope they get to try again. Metroid Prime 5, just make that ending better. Like, just follow up that ending, put those people in the Metroid Prime map, and make it a Metroidvania. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. All right. Some new data leaks suggest that a Monster Hunter Wilds port for Switch 2 could be coming. This is uncovering things like a 30 FPS with DLSS enabled mode, and perhaps Wild Dots running at 1080p with better fidelity than PC's very low graphics setting. Capcom has been supporting the Switch 2 with that very good port of Street Fighter 6. Kunitsugame, Path of the Goddess is on their well, and Resident Evil Requiem, along with Resident Evil 7 and 8, are also coming out to the Switch 2. So in some ways, it's not surprising. It is surprising, though, because Monster Hunter Wild still, doesn't run great on PCs. Nice PCs.
It runs better.
It runs a bit better, I know. But
a month ago, they did a big patch, and then it runs way better now.
See, you say way better. I saw some people chatting it's 5% better. I don't know.
That's way better from.
Yeah, I bet it's somewhere in between that. Yeah.
So it's better. It's so much better that this is going to seem acceptable on a Switch 2.
Right, but it's also not. They're not done with the improvements, the performance improvements.
Sure.
There's still more on their roadmap. So I bet that's all part of this.
It makes sense. God, the only way I would possibly check this out, Jeff, is if I can carry my save over from the PC.
Oh, yeah, I'm not doing that beginning again. No way.
Absolutely. At the very beginning, I've played 4 times.
Right.
Between Gamescom and the beta, and then the game actually coming out. No way am I doing that, or the story mode again. I almost wish the game would just have some kind of when you Diablo 4, it's you have to play the campaign one time, then the next time you start a character, you kind of just sort of start in the quote-unquote end game mode. Christian in chat, it's a 15-minute tutorial. One, annoying. Two, I'm talking about the entire story mode, the entire 10-hour campaign.
Story mode, the one you didn't finish?
I did finish it. Yeah, I'm just making stuff up. What are you talking about?
Wow.
I finished it.
I helped you, motherfucker, and you didn't finish the last thing. Unless you did it
I don't know. There was credits at one point. I assume that was finishing the story mode.
You hit credits midway through. Then there's more.
Oh.
So it's a video game in 2025. Oh, man.
I don't know, Jeff. We'll see. It would help. It would do if they can get this thing looking good enough. This would do pretty well there. We're getting some surprising ports on the Switch 2 with things like that. Final Fantasy 7 Intergrade reports that looks really good. Capcom did a good job with Street Fighter 6, but we've also been getting disappointing ones. Even the Switch 2 version of Skyrim somehow is coming in well below expectations. Elden Ring got delayed, but it was looking like a mess. So I don't know. How hopeful are you for Wilds?
I'm hopeful just from the point of view of that Capcom seems to be taking Switch 2 very seriously. And if this is a game they still seem to care about a lot. So yeah, that makes sense that they're going to try to make this happen. There is the other side of this, and this is okay, take Capcom and their efforts to improve Wilds and put it over here. Separately from that, today NVIDIA announced DLSS 4.5, which is a pretty big step up in a lot of ways for the technology that's core to the Switch 2 even. And I looked into it. It's there's no reason many of the features, not all of the features, there are some that really will only work on the 50 series cards, but many of the features will be backported to the Switch too. So there could be significant upgrades to a lot of games that rely on DLSS, which this game certainly will. So I want Capcom to fix the game, and then we get more on top of that. But there's a chance here that like they might be able to rely on some of these improvements that are just happening on a system level.
Do you think that this is a sign that we are not going to get like a Monster Hunter Rise 2, like another game made ground up for the
Not anytime
Switch 2
soon.
in mind specifically?
Yeah, right. Not soon is what this says to me. They I guess maybe not ever, because they'll just want to do them all on everything. But it's like Rise really worked. It gives you the chance to try something different and then let people know. It's like, well, if that's not your flavor, we're going to go back to the other one in the next iteration and kind of flip back and forth. It seems like there's a lot of benefits to that. I bet there's also a lot of like, as a development team and as a publisher, maybe there's some headaches involved with that, where it's like we want to just kind of have a linear sort of path going forward, and one thing builds on the next, and we keep that whole community together in one spot. But that's already not working, because a lot of people played Wild and said, "Fuck this, I'm going back to Rise." So it's like, I don't know. It feels like you can capture everyone by having these two slightly different flavors. I hope they keep going back and forth, just because it gives them a chance to try other things.
I think people going back to World, like straight up.
Yeah,
like,
people done that as well, yes.
Yeah, if I want to play a game like Monster Hunter on PC, I'm gonna play World. Which
Rise got a huge bump, though. Is all I'm saying. Rise got a huge bump in the wake of Wild. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, the one that's like the best version of 4 even got a bump, right?
Yes,
the one
that's right.
Like,
they all did. You're
still
right.
For the sickos.
Yes.
It's gonna be really
Ultimate. Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. It's gonna be really interesting to see what that next Monster Hunter does look like. I know we're some ways away from there. There's got to be a big expansion for Wilds. It'll be interesting to see what that does and what kind of changes it makes and what's the direction.
That's due out momentarily, right? Like we're talking in the first quarter of this year, that expansion.
Gosh, I can't remember. That's a good point, Jeff. When is that thing coming out? Monster. I almost forgot that they did, in fact, announce it, to be honest.
During the break, let's just say I might have something for you guys to like maybe request a code for that. So like we can maybe go from there. And assume that means it's coming soon.
It's not an expansion; it's a title update.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know if they not announced like the full on.
No, I think they have the road.
Do their title updates have big weird names? Okay, I guess so. Probably they probably do.
Yeah. Are you looking at Monster Hunter Stories or something?
Maybe it's Monster Hunter Stories. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw Monster Hunter and then a big long subtitle, so I stopped reading at some point.
I'm betting it's Monster Hunter Stories. All right.
That makes sense.
Next up, Final Fantasy IX character designer Toshiyuki Itahana quits Square Enix. Itahana was the character designer for games like Final Fantasy IX and the Crystal Chronicles and Chocobo series. He's announced his departure from Square Enix after 30 years with the companies. He sort of made a decision at the end of last year following the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy IX, saying he wanted to prepare himself to continue drawing for many years to come and felt a strong sense of accomplishment after completing the anniversary-related illustration work. So yeah, he did a lot of original new work for that. He's going to now work as a freelance illustrator and character designer. Now, the kind of subtext a lot of people are reading into here is that, that Final Fantasy IX remake is absolutely dead if he is leaving the company. I don't know if I read that much into it, Jeff.
It doesn't necessarily mean that, right? Yeah, there's no reason to assume that's what it exactly means.
I mean, I do think that project probably did die at one point. Although part of me wonders, like, already if they're not just thinking about that again, and even if they did, they could still bring him back as freelance. But, we found out that Final Fantasy Tactics: The Evilise Chronicles, right? That did 1 million sales. That's really good, I think, for, a kind of for a remake of that scale. I think the Final Fantasy IX remake, it would be more in that scale than, say, Final Fantasy VII remake. It's going to be somewhere in between there, I suppose. But you just think they would be able to make that work. So I don't know if the success of Evilise Chronicles is going to breathe new life into more of these straightforward remakes, let's say, as opposed to the big reimagining we got with Final Fantasy VII.
At the very least, it lets them or reminds them they have options. They don't have to just do it one way, the big expensive way, and that doesn't even mean Final Fantasy VII remake. That's the big expensive way. The Crisis Core is that was probably a pretty expensive thing to do to replace all those models. Maybe not the most expensive thing, but You don't have to do
Mhm.
that. You can just upgrade everything on it and keep it 2D or keep it like upgrade all the 2D art, and that's probably not as bad. I hope that they do see this and kind of like we're like, okay, what can we do here to sort of just make this feel fresh, give it a coat of paint, do some nice update to the voice acting or whatever, and go back to Final Fantasy IX. Why wouldn't they? I don't know.
Yeah. Marcus Aurelius, right? The Dragon Quest VII game coming out next month could be a good example for Final Fantasy IX. That's interesting. Like, in terms of, that is a reimagining, but in terms of fidelity,
Oh yeah,
almost.
even
like,
that would be, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So, I'll be curious to see what Final Fantasy developments we get coming soon from Square Enix. I mean, the big thing is going to be Final Fantasy VII Part 3. But, like, what are their plans for Final Fantasy 17? There has to be some kind of plan. There's going to be an expansion announced this year for 14. What else? What other weird spin-offs? Are we going to get more remakes announced, remasters, things like that? I'll be curious to see what the future holds for Final Fantasy.
What do you think
coming
is
up
like
here.
the safest thing they could do with Final Fantasy 17?
I mean, I think you just kind of make a pretty turn-based RPG. I think you kind of, some people get annoyed by this, but I think you look at Clear Obscure, like, if you make one of these with nice production values and give it a little jus, people can still get excited about these things. Just like how 9 was a little bit of going back to basics, even though the series hadn't gone that well back then. I think people would be receptive to a bit of a back to basics Final Fantasy. I don't know if to straight up do the ATB system and all of that stuff even.
Right.
But give me the job system even. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Just make it
Yo.
real pretty. Make it turn-based in some way.
Mhm.
Yeah, have fun with it.
Yeah, give me some paradigms.
Give me-
Maybe.
Give me a fucking world map,
Yeah, they should
Yeah.
do that. That would be incredible. It's time.
right? Like, Final Fantasy has not had a world map since, are you ready for this? Since Final Fantasy 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we do that? I think people would like that.
That'd be cool. That would feel very like, okay, they know exactly who they're making this game for. We'll see.
All right. Okay. Well, say from my Nintendo news, Nintendo Switch 2 dev kit availability has, quote unquote, largely been resolved. This has been a narrative for a while, Jeff, that there weren't that many of these development kits
Nintendo was
out.
being stingy, that kind of thing.
Stingy.
Yeah.
And story now is like, they basically that's not as much of a problem for. According to Nate DeHate, who says the situation has now largely been resolved, meaning that third-party developers who want development kits should now have them or be receiving them soon. Do you think we're going to notice an uptick in ports and third-party games coming to the console?
It'll take a minute. I mean, the thing resolved here is getting your hand on the hardware. Does that mean that resolves the like Call of Duty game that was kind of the subject of this? Means that comes to Switch kind of instantaneously? Obviously not. No, it's going to take a whole other round of time for them to come back to the Switch with the next game, maybe. So we'll notice it, but not immediately.
All right, those are the topics, the news stories anyways. Why don't we take a quick break? Let's come back and we'll look at some super chats. I see some fine super chats rolling in from the folks here. We'll take a looky soon. BRB, everyone.
All right. I have
All right.
this here. Let me get the super chats up.
Man.
Mhm.
Get the show back in there. I need to pick up my food. Quick.
Okay, I'm going. All right, let's see
Go
here.
fast. Faster.
Fade in the back. Back in 5, 4, 3.
We're back, and I would like to apologize for saying the phrase BRB out loud. It takes just as many syllables to say "be right back." That only works for writing. My apologies.
That was big of you.
Jeff, how are those super chats looking?
They're looking good. Let's get into them right now, starting with Simon from Saskatchewan, who says, during your Mist stream, which started up again over on Giant Bomb, Monday mornings Mist with Mitch, started Mist 3 Exile. Simon continues, I thought I heard the Fujin wind flute music. Would love to see a Fujin fight in that game. Is that the iconic Blight Club music?
There is something of a similar vibe. I guess it's the FMV, right?
Yeah.
There's a similar vibe happening. There is lots of wind noises in the Mist games in general. It's sort of part of that kind of eerie, lonely vibe that you get from them. Boy, the vibe in Mist 3 Exile has been immaculate. I am
Great.
absolutely in love with the way that game just looks.
Especially considering
and
it's the
feels.
original game, so it's like, man, it always was like this. That's great. It holds up surprisingly well, shockingly well. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited to play more in Mystery Exile for sure.
Simon from Saskatchewan says, Brad Dourif, best Dourif movie? No Lord of the Rings allowed.
Oh
Let me
gosh, like
see
I
here.
said, I always really like him in Star Trek Voyager when he plays the murderer. I mean, I'm not a Chucky guy, and I know he's in those. Gotta forget that he's in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That's a pretty good movie,
Yeah, that's
huh?
good. That's real good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he in who was he in Halloween? I don't remember. Yeah,
He's in Blue Velvet.
Man, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is probably. Well, he was in the original Dune, 1984.
Oh.
Again. That's fun.
The weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a lot of horror movies that I have not seen. It turns out, actually. So, yeah, we can say One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He was in. I saw Jungle Fever and thought that was Jungle to Jungle, the Tim Allen movie that I'm sure just has aged just fantastically.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
Oh man, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was his first like credited film appearance. That's interesting.
Wow. Okay.
That makes sense. It's a while ago.
Simon with the hat trick here says, Mike, ever heard of the point-and-click adventure Mozart's Requiem? The plot is insane. You'd get a kick from it. I think it's got a Switch port.
Boy, I don't think I have. Mozart's Requiem.
We should play all of the classical musician video games. Play this, play Etrian Odyssey, or I'm sorry, yes, not Etrian Odyssey.
No.
Right.
Not Eternal Sonata.
Yes, Eternal Sonata. Yes. Always mix those up.
I'm looking at this thing. I mean, how did you even find this? This thing has 16 reviews on Steam. It came out 2022, and its reviews are mixed. And yet, I also do want to play this. It looks insane.
I wonder, at least, is there any chance it like came out on some other platform before that and just never caught on Steam or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like what the hell is? It looks like Alone in the Dark game released in like 1999, right? Like that's what it looks like.
Oh,
and
that's so the real shit. All right.
Yeah, that's what this looks like to me. So I'll have to take a peek at that.
Snorlaxon says, Jeff Macchiafava, Jeffem as they call him, of MinMax recently said Baby Steps is one of, if not his favorite game of all time. Time to ditch Mike and form the Council of Jeffs? Yeah, listen.
Whoa!
Make some appealing things here. Yes.
I've been very supportive of your love for Baby Steps. I wish I had time to play more of it.
Not a single bad word from Mike about Baby Steps. Not even like a suggestion of like, that's not a real game. Nothing like that. Been nothing but supportive.
Yeah. And look, I've listened to some other podcasts, Fire Escape, where they were talking about Baby Steps as if it was an evil. Kind of a how dare they attitude to that game.
Yeah, someone mentioned that Dan was like, people are trying to read meaning into this. And I'm like, yeah, I'm the asshole. That's who you're talking about. Yeah. I haven't listened to it, but I'll have to.
Me.
Yeah.
The problem, it's me. I think I liked Baby Steps quite a bit. I was very excited for it to do well in the game.
When that game came out and it got like its 70-ish Metacritic or whatever it is, Open Critic, and I played it, was like, okay, this is just one of those things where it's just hitting with me. I am very encouraged that so many other people seem to like fully get it the way I do, or appreciate it the way I do. Everyone gets it, but like some people like appreciate it the way I do, and that's very nice. So shouts out to Jeffem. Zombie Porn says, what happened first? Mike finishes his Blight game. Jeff and Dan finally have the run. Christian gets another cool tattoo, or Sean plays Days Gone. Well, Sean's very busy, so I'm gonna say that one's gonna happen last.
Yeah, how did the run technical test go today?
We got to a new place we've never been to before, and fought the Interloper. I don't know if you remember that boss.
Not necessarily. I might have to look again.
Like we found a new route, and it was like we got very far. It was a really good run. Dan lost both of his revives like pretty much immediately, but we still survived for a really long time.
Good.
I definitely carried him through a couple of boss fights, so that felt good. It feels like we're on the cusp of something. So
okay.
I think maybe tomorrow we'll actually do the run, and we'll stream it this time.
I mean, just I know it doesn't seem like I'm close to beating this stupid game, but maybe the next 2 weeks I will. I'm gonna beat Leisure Suit Larry first, right?
Yeah, I think you actually do.
I don't know. You guys are gonna be doing runs like all this week. You guys might beat the run.
The run,
first.
the run could happen this week. Yes, so we'll see.
First.
We'll
Okay.
see.
I already have the idea for my next tattoo, and
Oh,
It's an
goodness.
addiction.
I don't know.
They say.
I don't know. Yeah, it is. It is. It feels good. I don't know why, but I don't know. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to go to the lady and be like, I want another one like right away.
You
know,
just
I don't-
say
I'm
it.
sure
Just
they're
say,
used
give
to
me a tattoo of pregnant Sonic.
More.
That's all you have to do.
I mean,
They get it
listen.
all the time, Christian.
Yeah,
It's fine.
they will know
All
what
right.
to do.
All right.
All right, let's see here. J-Man, shouts out to J-Man, says, love you guys. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Also, what place should I go to for dinner at Epcot? From John Martin.
Oh gosh, plenty of good choices. I like Via Napoli maybe the most. It's the pizza Italian restaurant. So there's 2 Italian restaurants there. This one's pizza forward. It's very good pizza. It's kind of a fun vibe in there. The pizza ovens themselves are huge and they have giant old man faces and the pizza goes into their mouths. Tutto Italia is the more normal Italian food. That's nice, but not quite as exciting. If you want steak, you go to the Canna section. You go to Le Cellier, where you'll get good steak. But more importantly, you'll get amazing cheese soup. The soup there is famous. It's so freaking good. You got to get the cheese soup at Le Cellier if you head over that away. If you like beer, go to the beer garden. You get a giant German beer. They put on a show, more of a buffet thing, but good food, good atmosphere in there. Yeah, all sorts of great restaurants over in Epcot. The Mexican restaurant there, it's a ton of fun as well. So yeah, I like it all. If you want to do character thing, this actually maybe the best character meal is at Garden Grill for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You get to see Mickey. He's dressed up like a farmer, and I like that.
Yeah, when we were there, I think in was it Norwegian, they had the character dinner there.
Akershus?
Yeah, what is it?
The princess one?
Yeah, yes, that was
Akershus, yeah.
that was a lot of fun, and it was really great as like a midday meal. My recommendation for dinner, especially if you're doing around fireworks time, because it's up on a hill, is the Katsura Grill, which has ramen in the Japanese area. And it's like, really, it'll hit the spot, especially if it's cold, and which it might be chilly at night in Florida right now. Who knows?
Yeah.
And again, it's up on a hill, so you can eat outside and kind of watch the fireworks. It's a really good time. All right, let's see here. J-Man's back with another one, and YouTube went weird on me, but we're back. Ocarina of Time remake for Zelda 40th? I hope so. I don't know what to expect. I would love that, but I don't know what to expect from them for Zelda for 40th.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, the last Ocarina of Time remake has actually been quite a long time now, right? The 3DS version came out in 2011. I think there's actually been more time between that and now, and when the Nintendo 64 version came out. How is the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time 15 years old? Fuck.
Yeah, that sucks, dude.
What do you mean?
That's
The people who were born when that game came out have driving permits? What are you talking about?
That sucks. They could be. They're going to vote in the next presidential election. That's not great. Minish Cap turns 21 in 4 days. Okay, that I can accept a little bit easier than 3DS games being 15 years old. I don't know.
I mean, it was a launch game. I like that 3DS version a lot. They probably do more to it than like the minimal amount, but even the minimal amount to me, I would be pretty happy with. But yeah, Ocarina of Time is still the Zelda game in a lot of ways. You want to do something, you do something with that.
Especially if like the movie, is that story. I bet they do something with that specifically.
Yeah, and I'm still curious about that, but that seems like. I think it'll be like a version of that story where you don't have a child Link, right? Something like that. I don't know. Who knows what that's going to look like exactly.
Okay. Superphase Gaming says you gave great advice a few months back about reviewing games. Hope you might again regarding retrospectives. What makes a good game retrospective? Thank you for all the great creator-owned content. Thank you.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mike?
I think a good retrospective has to be like part historical documentary and part like good critical analysis.
Yeah, but
right?
the critical analysis thing, don't mistake that as like I need to go and correct the record here and be like
Yeah.
like overly negative about anything. Honestly, if you're gonna do a retrospective of the game, tell people all the things that make the game good or fun, even if there's not a lot, even if there's like things that have aged poorly. Focus on the positives for a retrospective, because people going back to look at stuff. I'm finding this with like the Sean Johnson videos, Mike. He's always just like, this is pretty good. And I'm like, cool. That's what I want to hear. I don't need to hear like all about all these shitty games that from this one publisher, because they put out 50 games on the PS1 and 40 of them are terrible. Tell me like the good parts about it. And that's what he focuses on. And that really works. And those are very brief retrospectives a lot of times.
Yeah, if you wanna, my favorite example for a guy who does like the more log for thing. Look at Majular, the stuff he's been doing with like Ultima. He's done like the Kingsfield games, it's a bunch of other stuff. But I think Majular is the best at like the single game long form retrospective right now. He goes in and he kind of does what I'm talking about. Nice historical context. Like, not just like the game, but the company, the people who made it, the gaming industry at that time,
Yep.
right? Like, I want all of this context.
Yeah,
Context.
context is like the biggest thing, because like, especially if you can draw connections and kind of have your own understanding of the context and explain that and put it into even more context than people might have had, that's the best part of those kinds of things. So yeah, there you go. And good luck. Chrono Rig says, hey dogs, as a hardcore Monster Hunter player, playing since Monster Hunter 3 on Wii U, I didn't like Wilds, and I would rather get a Rise Switch 2 update. Yeah, it doesn't sound like that's happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I kind of wish we can get both, because I would rather have like Rise Nintendo Switch 2 edition for sure. But you know, you can understand why they want to
might
like kind of
happen,
have
like-
them. It might happen, but yeah, I think they're gonna focus mostly on making Wilds the game.
Michael R. O'Leary says, just watched Epcot's Luminous from my CBR hotel room while sipping a cherry vanilla Pib Zero. Come live large with me, guys. Man, that sounds like a good time.
Sounds like you're living Moss.
Yeah.
Luminous is the fireworks show that they have at Epcot right now. CBR is the Caribbean Beach Resort Hotel.
That I didn't know.
Yeah. So, that does sound pretty nice, actually. Cherry vanilla Pib Zero. You really are just living in it.
Yeah, that's all those things sound real good to me.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Bucciette says, I think Dragon Quest keeps the basics alive. What could Final Fantasy 17 do different? I mean, aren't they doing something different with the next Dragon Quest? So it's like they're not even necessarily doing the basics there anymore.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what 12's gonna look like? But like, look, like, I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily like, well, Dragon Quest is already doing that. Final Fantasy is still a different flavor to me. Those two franchises used to live alongside each other all the time then. I think they can both do their own flavor of classic. Again, I'm not saying that they should make like a 2D game that is the most like, you know, basic structure from Final Fantasy IV. Obviously, you do some modern things
with Mode 7 graphics for the overworld. Yeah.
Like, figure out some spice to it for sure. But I think that the core of it should be a turn-based RPG with like a cool character progression system and a world map where you travel to different dungeons and towns. I just think it'd be nice to have one of those from Final Fantasy again.
Up until the world map, it sounded like you wanted like another Final Fantasy 13.
13 is fine. If you gave 13 a world map, actually, I think that would have solved most of that game's problems. Oh, maybe a better story too. And some other things, actually.
You don't like the Lucille? Wow.
Bad Pope. I can barely remember what's going on there. Yeah.
All right, let's see here from Big Fresh 37. Just like Lexi, my friends and I also spent Christmas break playing through Anthem one last time. It was fine.
Yeah. I had to play more Anthem than I ever wanted to because AJ liked it.
That's right.
He was desperately trying to get us to play more of it with him, and it was just, you know, again, there's like a kernel of good gameplay there, but then there was this obnoxious story that you were forced to play through. And just like some of the worst back at base in between stuff ever that felt so bad. And that game was like one of the worst examples of this is way too heavy and it's running like shit. And I actually actively can barely stand trying to get this thing to run and work well, because it's just destroying my computer or whatever platform I'm trying to play it on.
Let's see here from Chrono Rig. There needs to be Jeff almost having a heart attack award. Lol. I nominate the Virtual Boy or Benny Safdie reaction. Lol. Yeah, but either of those would be good. Man.
The Benny Safdie. That's
Yes.
right. Yeah.
That one was especially
God.
good
Yeah.
because you guys were like, "What are you even talking about now?"
Yeah,
So I look
me
insane
and
as
Sean were
well.
like,
yeah.
who's this?
Yep. That's good. Soothing Bath says, Mike, have you ever done the character breakfast at Topolino's Terrace or Topolino's Terrace? You absolutely have to
Topolino's.
if you haven't.
Topolino is the Italian name for Mickey Mouse, you see.
Oh.
No, I've been to Topolino for dinner, and at dinner it's like a nice sort of Italian Mediterranean restaurant, very good pasta dishes, things like that. It's great. Yeah, breakfast, it's a character meal, and I have not done that one. I've heard very good things about it. So at some point I would like to try. And like all the characters are sort of in art costumes, right? Like Mickey's, I think, a painter, and Donald Duck's a sculptor, things like that.
Topolino here in Argentina is candy.
Candy,
Like a type
yeah.
of candy, yeah.
Interesting. Is it Mickey shaped?
It is. It has a mouse.
Oh, there it is.
yeah,
That
in
explains
the
it. Okay.
package, so-
Makes sense. Big Fresh 37 says reacting to New Game Plus showcase on Thursday. That's right. There is like a showcase on Thursday,
I
right?
don't know much about this. I mean, are we expecting much from this thing?
Let me see. New Game Plus
Half-Life 3 is gonna show up there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not expecting too much. 45 curated indie to AAA games, self-funded with no paid ads. Crimson Desert confirmed to show. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We got a kind of a busy week, but we'll see what we can do. Worth at least discussing. Fire Hair says, "Have you seen the news about the PS4 Star Wars Racer Revenge? Have you seen this, Mike?"
I just tried to Google because I got excited because I thought like, oh
No.
wait, is Racer Revenge finally in 60 frames per second? And it looks like this is something about using that game to jailbreak PlayStation 5.
So,
Hell
it's
yeah.
specifically the physical copy of the PS4 release, which was a limited run game. So there's only a couple thousand copies of this. And what it does is, as you are booting the PS5, I believe it says you're booting. No, is it the PS4? As you're no, yeah, it's for the PS5. As you're booting the PS5, it can insert code into the very first like bootloader. So the very first thing that happens on the PS5 can now be hacked, which means you can do anything to that thing. You can put Linux on it.
Wow.
You can, of course, do piracy. So people are rushing out trying to buy this game so they can all kind of
they're probably gonna look at the game itself and they're gonna like
yes,
get that thing.
right. Like, you know,
Sure.
what happens eventually is like the PS3 for forever was like this kind of not nightmare, but it was a Byzantine sort of act to get that thing hacked. And now you just go to a website on the PS3, click a button, and everything happens on its own in like a couple of minutes. So we'll get there eventually with the PS5. It sounds like this does not mean that this is happening tomorrow or anything like that.
So I'm not gonna be able to play Racer's Revenge in 60 frames per second.
Buddy, I'm sorry. No.
Okay.
Listen, we could just go back and play the original Star Wars Racer.
Yeah, the original was always better.
Yes, it was. God, I hope that new one rules.
I know.
Hey, and here's another one. Antonio Morales, and you people laugh at us physical collectors.
Hey, look, I bought a physical game. See, look, here's my PlayStation Hits Bloodborne. I just
Oh,
played.
sweet.
See?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I got some physicals.
I
Here, don't worry.
have a physical copy of The Devil's Third right over there, Antonio Morales. Thank you for your note. I won't read it. I know you said not to read it, but thank you so much for the nice things you said.
Did you go to the mail? Did you go to our mailbox
I have a
thing?
CDI right over there.
Hell
I need to record that. In fact, Christian, I might record that maybe even tonight and send that over to you tomorrow morning,
All right.
and we can get that posted
Hell
for
yeah, let's
everybody.
go.
But yeah, there's some fun stuff in there. A lot of copies of it's not Noobs. What's the other bad movie we talked about?
Not Love on a Leash.
Not Love on a Leash. No, it's like the not Chicken Fried movie or Southern Fried movie. It's I don't know. People in chat will probably know eventually. It's not a video game movie. It's just like a bad movie with like it's unrated or whatever. I'll find a copy during the break so people don't have to lose their minds because I can't remember what it is. I was like why am I getting so many copies of this? And I kind of remembered, oh, we talked about this a few months ago, and it's been some time since I checked this box. So here they all are. Wonderful. Mike, that does it for the super chats.
All right. Why don't we take a quick break then so you can go find out what that movie is.
Sounds good.
I can go get a drink, and then we got our very special, very real video game awards.
Christian, you don't need to go get your
Nintendo.
food this time, right? So we can leave you here
No.
in charge. All right, Fade into Black.
Yeah, you can be in charge.
All right, I'll go grab that.
All right, I'm alone here. Hi, chat. I'm gonna get. Guess what I'm gonna get? My next tattoo is gonna be. It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. Yeah. Hi, Chuck. How you doing? No, it's not Goku. It's not Sets related though. Messi's pretty close. No, well, Messi's not pretty. Kamen Rider. There you go. Yeah, I want to get a Kamen Rider tattoo. I want to get the Shin Kamen Rider, folks. I'm not gonna get this nut tattoo. No. Oh, Christian, I gave you free premium. Thank you. I saw that. I didn't know it was you. Thank you. I thought you were Chef. I have I'm freemium, y'all. Oh, the Kuga symbol looks so. I watched a couple episodes of Kuga. I watched like 4 episodes of Kuga. That shit's so good.
I have 3 copies of the Underground Comedy Movie, is what it is. Here on the back of the box, it says superhero Dick Man fights lesbians, and Michael Clark Duncan as the gay virgin.
Yeah.
The
gay virgin.
The gay, and then JJ Cool J, JJK Cool, JK Cool in the What's Up talk show.
That movie surely is not problematic at all.
No, I can't imagine that there's any problems with this movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
I will not get at the ends justify the leans tattoo. I got a couple locks for tattoos. I wanna get Che Guevara in my chest.
Antonio, the Pikmin terrariums are awesome. They're great. Thank you so much again. Very, very happy to see those. And it was cool to get one of the second round. I didn't even know that those existed, so it was really cool.
I had to allow El Che in chat. That's crazy.
Really?
Yes, I had to allow El Che in chat.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I don't see it.
What
Where is
is
it?
that? I mean, I already allowed it.
Okay.
Joey Sasa 1012 said it, and I had to allow it. That was crazy.
That's fun. Mike, it was the Underground Comedy Movie.
Oh, I don't even know that.
Yeah, it's.
I do remember you bringing it up, actually. No, yeah.
Yeah, I think me and Dan talked about seeing commercials for it all the time, and that's the only time I had any interaction with it. Okay, let me see here. I was gonna do something else. Let me make sure the camera's good.
Yeah, Camera's a luck. Che Guevara's a luck. Messi, that's pretty close.
Okay, I think I'm good over here. We can bring it back. Fading to black. Coming back in 5, 4, 3.
All right, we're back. Forgive us for not wearing our tuxedos, but it is now time for the very important Nintendo 2025 Switch and/or Switch 2 or whatever else awards. Jeff, you told me you've come up with some very important and distinguished categories for this, I believe.
Yeah, and I think I even wrote them down somewhere. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, instead of we've picked our favorite games in a bunch of places now. We've had conversations. I think if we were to pick the best Nintendo Switch 2 game, I think that there's a good chance we know what that is. So I've got a bunch of bespoke awards I created, including, let's just get into them, starting with I guess it's fine that I paid $10 for this digital pamphlet award. I wonder what's going to win.
What are the nominees?
The nominees are Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, and the winner is Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. I kind of like this game. Obviously, it's insane that they made us pay for it, but I guess I kind of like it.
It would have been so welcomed as a free thing
Right.
that came with your Switch 2 as just a little here's what's going on here.
It would have been in significantly more like game of the year discussions, like for a top 10, like a number 10 slot in a lot of places, if it was included. If people would have been so kind to this thing. The fact that they charged $10 for it, everyone's just like, this is terrible. And it's actually, it's cool. It's cool. I get it's not worth $10 to the vast majority of people. And why would it be? You just want to play your system. You don't need to know what's behind the glass or whatever. All right. The most Nintendo ass weird game that you forgot came out award. I want you to try to guess, Mike.
Is it Dragon Drive?
No.
Wow.
Chat can guess as well.
And it's a Nintendo game.
Nintendo game. Yes.
They're coming on the Switch 1 also.
No. Didn't even come out on the Switch 2.
That seems like an important clue, Jeff. Did they release a new mobile game that I forgot about?
Did they?
I don't know. You're gonna have to tell me now.
Chat's still not got it either. So, I'm trying to think if I can give you a hint. It was a social deduction game.
Phone a friend, Mike. Phone a friend. Phone a friend.
Oh, there was another Fire Emblem game, wasn't there? Sean!
Fire Emblem Shadows.
Fire Emblem Shadows.
Oh, man.
The 3-player social deduction game where one of you is apparently a bad person, and I think you're playing against AI opponents.
Boy.
I never touched it. Sean, I think you played it, right? What was this thing?
This is one of the worst, if not the worst, video game I've ever played in my life.
Yeah,
it is a game where they took Fire Emblem. You're on a grid. It's an auto battler, so you don't even get to do anything on said grid. And then at the end of a round, someone dies, and you have to decide who's the killer. Well, that's pretty easy if you are or are not the killer, because there's only 2 people left.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
This game was insane, guys.
It's wild that this happened.
Like, them releasing everybody's 1-2 Switch was kind of like, okay, you could have just kept this one in your pocket. This one is insane that they released it. I mean, I guess free mobile game, whatever. It's just bizarre. All right. Our number 3 award. Best game that in no way involves wheelchairs.
This one is Dragon Drive because, of course, it's not wheelchairs. What are you talking? It's like the only positive that game might have had going for it was it's
representation. Yeah.
Right? And they're like, how dare you try to say that these are wheelchairs?
Never call
Those
them
people
wheelchairs. Yes.
Like, we want to be very clear that the disabled could not play this fake sports game that we came up with. Like, what?
They are not welcome and not included. An insane thing. For people that don't know what we're talking about exactly, Dragon Drive is a game where you play a version of basketball in a wheelchair, and Nintendo did not want anyone referring to them as wheelchairs. They said that out loud with their mouths.
It was wild, and boy, that was a weird game. Hoping that it would be like the ARMS for the Switch 2 was very generous. There was like a kernel of something fun there.
I think moving those things around was something I was like into, and then everything around it, and really even some of the movement was, everything around it was bad for sure.
The lobby system was terrible. It was like a much worse version of City Trials. Now that I know what City Trials is from Kirby Air Riders, and it was just wild how hard it was to just play that game with my friends. Like me, you, and Dan could not just be like, we want to match up with people as a team of 3. We want to play against another team of 3.
Right.
No.
It put us into a room together, and sometimes it would put us in the same game, but never were all 3 of us even on the same team. It was like maybe 2 of us on one team and 1 of us on the other. And sometimes
not even that.
Sometimes not even that. What a bizarre thing that they've done over there.
Right. It's like if they wanted to just make a kind of like, oh, I get you're controlling wheelchairs with like your mouses and it's Rocket League. Like that seemed like a decent idea. That might have been a cute little thing. And then they somehow made that idea so much worse than it should have been.
All right. Next award here. I have a new trophy in my hands. It says Jeff Grubb's Nintendo Switch 2 Sleeper Hit of the Year. This is one that's like just a little under the radar, sleeper hit, in that not one that most people are necessarily talking about as like a great game, and I think it's pretty great. And that is Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment. This is a surprisingly good game. Kind of this series of making a ton of sense to me at this point, because I think they tone down some of the Muso stuff and just focus on the cool Zelda stuff in a lot of cases. And boy, that works. It's a game that's like worth it if you are into those new Zelda games at all. You might as well continue hanging out with those characters over here, because they get a lot more screen time, have a lot more to say, have a lot more fun interactions, and then the gameplay is a good time, and it's bombastic. I'm super into this thing and very happy that it was as good as it was.
Yeah, it's one I passed up because I just assumed I wouldn't be interested in it, and now I kind of feel like I want to give it a try at some point here, especially when things are quiet. I'd like to give it a go. It seems like there's some neat stuff there.
Next trophy is the game that most made me look down without mercy and whisper, pathetic. And the winner is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
This was your Rorschach game.
Yes, this is the one that made me look down and whisper no when it asks for help. Look, I well documented my feelings about it now. But there were times when I was like, this game's a little bit pathetic, and it's a shame. I really wanted to love it, but that's where Metroid Prime 4 ends up for this. If you had to give a trophy to Metroid Prime 4, what would you give it?
Oh, that sounds about right, Jeff. I mean, it's a disappointment thing for sure. It's a bafflement as well. Because like just some of the issues, right? Like enemy variety is a huge problem in the game, and I get some of the stuff about, oh, maybe it's open world, maybe it's not. I don't know why I'm still just fighting grievers constantly in waves of them, and maybe they're maybe they're ice grievers instead of fire grievers, but they don't feel that different anyways. So yeah, I don't even say the what happened works. I kind of know what happened. How about that's a shame?
Yeah,
that's what I feel
that's
like.
a shame.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
All right, next trophy, the Ow, My Shoulders Hurt from Carrying the Switch 2 award. And that goes to Hollow Knight Silk Song, a game that kind of just hit so hard. It was so good on the Switch 2 that it was easy to ignore that if some other games weren't hitting, or it didn't feel like they had a ton of stuff like they did in 2017 for the Switch 1. Very easy for me to ignore, because I could not put down my Switch 2 for a long time while I was playing Hollow Knight Silk Song that Chuck Towski says is mid.
And I mean, runner up here to Hades too, right? I think
exactly. Very
those two games
similar. Yep.
As just like these really super high quality independent games that offer like 50 hours of gameplay each. I mean, Silk Song was also like it's a $20 game, right? It's so freaking cheap. It's only twice as much as Welcome Tour.
Right. The money you save from getting the Mario Kart bundle, use that to get this as well, and you're well set up. You got like a really great bundle right there. All things considered, and yeah.
I think if it wasn't for like those two games, I may have bought into the narrative a bit more of like, disappointing launch year for the Switch 2. And maybe in terms of raw exclusives, perhaps. But like those two with Donkey Kong, it's like that's like three amazing games that I got to play on my Switch 2. So
right, and Hades too. If you're not playing on Steam, it really is the only other way to play that game. So
yeah, that's true.
Your Switch 1, of course. So, but why not play on your Switch 2? All right, the Nintendo Switch Online Nintendo Classics Edition of the Year Award. This goes to Donkey Kong 94, which was added to the service in the year 2025 back in March. I looked at all the games added, and I do think this was the best game they could have added in 2025. Some other standouts, but this one by far the best.
Yeah, probably the other great one for me is actually Soul Calibur 2. A lot of these other NSO games, they feel a little weird. Soul Calibur 2 actually still feels fantastic. It has that widescreen mode that just works on the NSO stuff. So like Soul Calibur 2, just having access to that at all times is great. But boy, yeah, when Donkey Kong 94 came out on NSO, I started up again for fun and then just played through the whole game again. Just absolutely adore that thing. It's just one of my favorite Nintendo games ever. It's the best game for that platform. It might be their best portable game ever. So freaking good.
Before I locked in on Donkey Kong 94 and realized that was an NSO edition in 2025, it was going to be Soul Calibur 2. And it was like, yeah, you know, some of these other GameCube ones he's pointed out aren't necessarily great on the Switch 2 because of some weird emulation stuff. We never felt that way about Soul Calibur 2. When we were playing that, it all just felt right and felt like a good time. Okay, let's see here. The Switch 2 launch game most likely to end up on a Switch 2 Hidden Gems YouTube video in 20 years. And the winner is Survival Kids. This is a game that no one talks about, no one's played. It was a launch exclusive for the Switch 2, and it's surprisingly pretty good. I think it's easy for people to look at it and be like, it's repetitive, but you get to do like the fun survival kind of gameplay of get some sticks and some stones and build a thing in like small bite-sized gameplay segments, and I ended up having a very good time with this game. I don't know if I beat it, but I got very close to the end. I played it for many hours. So
I always enjoyed hearing you talk about it, but yeah, it feels like nobody played this thing, and it did not get much attention, even though there wasn't that much at launch. You think like maybe something would have like a game like this could have flourished a little bit, especially when people like not really, you know, obviously everyone was playing Mario Kart anyway, so a lot of people were like, this is a little disappointing, but he didn't necessarily jump to our game. They were still just kind of holding on for Donkey Kong.
Okay, last two here. Let's do this one first. The Why Is This Even Good award. What do you think is going to win, Mike?
Kirby Air Riders?
The winner is Kirby Air Riders. Why is it even good? I don't know, but I love it. I ended up really liking it. That is a game that just snuck up on me. Could not, like, in terms of my enjoyment with it. We started it. I think both of us were pretty confused by just everything that was happening there. City Trials is one that would come up frequently as something people are like, that's the real shit. And I was more confused by that than anything. Just let us race. It's a racing game. And by the time we were done, I liked everything about this. I love the racing. I love the like racing single player adventure mode, whatever that was called, a road trip mode or something.
Road trip, yeah. Yes. I mean, just like the presentation, right? Like the game looks gorgeous. The music's amazing. Just the presentation is fantastic. It's such a good hangout game. It was a great game for just getting a bunch of people in a lobby together and doing the city trials or whatever from within there. Yeah, it's just surprisingly fun. The more I played it, the more I liked it.
And finally, the Nintendo Game of the Year. It is Metroid Prime 4. No, I'm just joking. It's Donkey Kong Bonanza. I could come up with a bunch of fun ones for this one, but it's like, let's just be real. This is the best game that came out from Nintendo this year. It's another classic 3D platformer. And you know, I think people. So, like, you hear some people who are a little bit down on it in comparison to some of the other best platformers ever made. It's still in that conversation, no matter who you're talking to, though. And that it's hard to actually get in that conversation. Donkey Kong Bonanza easily there. Some of the best time I had in a game this year.
Yeah, just really freaking fun. It just constantly, you know, we talk about how's the running and jumping feel. The running and jumping feels so amazing. When I realized that doing the downward like ground pound actually lifts you up in the air a little bit, so you can actually use that to get extra vertical height, I'm like, oh, now we are absolutely cooking with gas there.
It was great to like see that when we were at the Awesome Games Done Quick, when Spike Vegeta was doing like some of the showcases of some moves, him just like saying that right out loud. I'm like, oh, I remember when Mike told me about that. Like, yeah, that's a move that the speedrunners do now to get even more height. And it's like, yeah, that's the kind of system you have in this game where you link all these things together and you could do incredible stuff. And now it's an incredible speedrunning game, and it's one that I had a really fun time. I don't think I 100%ed it, but I played it for many, many hours past the credits. And yeah, really good game. One I want to go back to and even play that DLC which I still have not touched, which is like a roguelite mode, but I'll give that a shot someday.
All right. And you know, the music, super cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, gosh, if there's like one award I'd add, it's like I continue to feel bad for not engaging more with this franchise award, and that would be for Octopath Traveler 0, which, so you know, this game didn't seem to be nearly as loved as Octopath Traveler 2, but I still have heard good things about it. It seems like people are digging it. You know, it came out at a time when I was just really hectically trying to finish like other games that I could for Game of the Year, and like a game coming out in the beginning of December that was an RPG. I'm like, well, there's no way I'm gonna finish that. So yeah, that just didn't happen. Although me and you have been talking about a way to play Octopath Traveler 2 here. Maybe that'll happen soon.
I am fully on board with that. I think you are correct about that. That's the right right game, and I want to do it. All right, so what do we call these awards? Are these the Woofies? Are they the
I know that's it. That's they're the
got
Wookiees.
him one? Okay.
Got him one. I don't want to hear a single other suggestion. You shut your mouth.
All right. All right, congratulations to all our Woofie winners for 2025.
The Woofie winners.
The
Oh my God,
Woofie
the
winners.
alliteration.
We'll be back with the Woofies for 2026 in early 2027, which isn't a real year, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everybody, for listening to that. And Mike, I'll hand the show back over to you.
All righty. Take a quick break. We'll be back. We got some more super chats. We'll talk about what games we've been playing, and then we'll call it a show. See you in a little bit, everybody.
Okay. We're on the standby screen.
Yeah, I skidded the list, by the way.
I
You
saw
wanna-
that.
Yes, I'm re-skid it right now.
No, wait a second. It might be spoilers.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll give it some time. Good idea.
Okay. All right.
You can leave it up, Christian. I'll re-skid it later.
Oh, yeah, you're fine, Christian.
Let me actually just share the video link, though. I'll do that.
Down to the core.
All right.
Yep, hang on.
You did that. I thought it was going to be bad. It actually turned out to be good.
Listen,
job.
either way, though, it'd be less than
I believe
Nintendogs,
you.
good or bad. Doesn't matter. All right.
So yeah, I'm glad you own your mistakes.
It's just my whole vibe.
It's the only thing I have to own.
Okay. I am
All right.
posting a link to the
You ready,
video.
Mike?
So there we go.
Yep,
Mike,
I'm ready.
are you good? Okay, I'll fade us to black. Coming back up on us in 5, 4, 3.
All right, we're back. So, what Nintendo stuff have you been playing recently, Jeff?
Yeah, I've been kind of messing around a little bit with the AYN Thor since getting it back. So it's like getting all those emulators set up, and then I'll play half an hour of Super Mario Brothers 2. I need to get A Link Between Worlds going. 'Cause when we got done with the Game Awards for Giant Bomb, and I asked everybody, "Hey, what are you going to play when like you get home and you don't have to worry about catching up on the Game of the Year stuff anymore?" My answer was A Link Between Worlds. And then Dan goes and gets his Thor out and plays it. And now I'm like jealous because I didn't do it. So I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a great time. So that's like getting that set up has been something I started doing tonight. It just requires a little bit extra effort. I was kind of halfway done setting up my Thor when I left it at Dan's and you picked it up for me. So I'm going to finish that process and that'll be kind of what I get into. Beyond that, it's like I've been playing a bunch more Outlaws on the Switch too over the holidays, and it's like I'm kind of making a lot of progress there again, and it continues to be a good game on the Switch too. But one that's like I'm playing in a couple hour segments here each week, and not putting a ton of time into it any one time.
Right. I mean, it's a first person shooter of that era that can get a little monotonous. Like even when I was playing through like the Night Dive remasters of Quake and Doom, like it is hard to do it for more than a couple hours sometimes.
Sorry,
sure.
I meant Star Wars Outlaws is what I was talking. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
I thought you meant the boomer shooter.
Yeah, no. Listen, I would love.
How
That's
funny!
if I would play that on the PC.
Lucas-related.
Yeah, I forgot that's on the Switch as well. Yeah, I get it.
Oh.
We did a quick look at that, right? Or we did something without. Maybe we played on UPF.
We did do we played that in UPF. I was like, oh, you're playing Outlaws somewhere. You got on Switch. Okay, very interesting. Okay. Yeah, Star Wars Outlaws. I still want to start that actually. Maybe I'll just start it and only play Sabak.
Yeah, listen, it's worth it. Spock in there's really good. They did a good job with that. If you do that, then you'll want to like go do the Lando quests because he's like got some stuff going on with Sabak, and then you get some bonuses from him.
Can you win the Millennium Falcon from him?
You can't, but yeah.
I bet my ship on this hand.
That was a pretty good Lando. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
How about you, Mike? You playing anything?
Yes, the Tactics, Fantasy Tactics, continuing to love it. I'm in chapter 3 now. Got some advanced jobs happening. I just realized that the girls have access to some kind of job that the guys don't, and vice versa. So I'm trying to unlock those and see what they are. I kind of feel bad because like you get these bespoke characters that have a unique job, but I already sort of had all these like nobodies that I've been leveling up, so I'm not really messing with them, even though like one of them's a machinist, which means they can use a gun, and Gosh, the other one is just you doing some crazy astrologian stuff and casting like freeze on everybody in the battlefield. That seems powerful, but also there's some random guy here named Jonathan or whatever, and I've leveled him up to be a pretty decent time mage. So I'm probably sticking with those guys more. But yeah, just it continues to prove that it's the game everyone always said it was.
That's right. Yeah. Man, I should get back in there and play that as well while you're doing it, so like we can like swap tips and stuff like that. I'll see if I can maybe I can do that. God, there's just a bunch of stuff I still want to. There's already kind of a couple new games in my lap now for 2026 that I'm like, oh, I should play these so we can talk about them on the Bombcast, and I'm like into them, like Big Hop, which that's going to be on Switch. I've been playing that 3D platformer. I'm playing it on Steam right now because they didn't have Switch codes when I was talking to the guy. But yeah, so I think it's probably going to be pretty good on the Switch. And as a platformer, I think it's excellent. Dan was having some issues with it, it sounds like. But for me, I'm like, it's just kind of shit hot across the board. I think it's like those control system you have to get used to because there's so much in there. You kind of have to learn how to work with it. Sounds like one of the issues he was having was he would try to like wall jump and he would end up wall running. And he's like, no matter what I was doing, I kept having the same issue. I'm like, okay, I guess I could see that sometimes, but for the most part, it's been doing what I want it to. So I think I just kind of am like it's friendly for the way I'm playing it, at least. And yeah, the 3D mascot platformers are actually pretty hard for an indie developer to nail the charm of, because these can be very charming games, and I think it does it in a way that most have not. Like Yooka-Laylee missed. This is not a Yooka-Laylee. This is a much better game.
Yeah, because we talked about this before. Like, there's these games that are like, not bad, like Yooka-Laylee or Hat in Time, but they just don't quite hit as nearly as hard as an Astrobot or Mario. And of course they don't, but like, someday one of these games will, and it'll become a big deal, and it'll be really interesting when, that this genre has its Stardew Valley moment or its Hollow Knight moment, right? Things like that.
Yep,
so,
for sure.
Definitely want to check it out myself. All right, I think we got some more super chats, Jeff.
Yeah, let me see here. A new one just came in, so let's see here. I think we're at Ryan Allen. Yeah, Ryan Allen says, another one falling on the 2-point museum sword, and the wildlife stuff is great. I've burnt my entire day on this game. Highly recommended. There you go. You're winning people over.
Yeah, there is like a zoo sort of expansion for the game I haven't checked out yet. I actually spent a lot of my free time today playing more 2-point campus because I do just find these games pretty cozy. But I am now okay, yeah, museum is better than campus. There's more going on with museum. It has more depth. It has more variety. But campus is still a lot of fun.
I think you were saying that it kind of feels like they were building up to the museum game in a lot of ways. And that sounds right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Lex Letty, says, hey, should I play Mass Effect Andromeda next? Didn't you pick up Andromeda? Yeah. What are you doing over there?
Yeah, it was so cheap. I'm like, I've never played a second of this game, and part of me is just curious. All I know about it was how weird the character models looked basically, right? I'm like, there's a whole video game here. What the hell is that like?
Yeah.
God, even this game is like 9 years old almost. Andromeda. That's wild. And again, I think I told you I had this fascination with not like the worst games of all time, but controversial ones like the Andromedas, the Devil May Cry 2s of the world, right? And like what's going on with these games that just kind of missed or weren't as good, not as good as the other ones in the series, that kind of thing. So I kind of want to check out Andromeda.
What I should do is get out my dev and reviewer Xbox One and pop in this version of Mass Effect Andromeda, a review copy.
Oh my God, that's incredible. Hold on to that.
Yeah, to VentureBeat and Dean Takahashi / Jeff Grubb from this person whose name I'm not going to say, and I'm not going to show this QR code. Hopefully I blocked that successfully.
Casey Hudson. Actually.
Beta 1, Patch 1 early reviewer build. I bet this disc is not going to run. It's not in a case. I'll have to buff it out.
It's not a thing they do anymore.
No,
right?
not honestly. I got only a couple of these by the time they were done doing this sort of thing. They stopped doing it on the Xbox One. Like the Xbox One launched with the idea of people would still get these things. So like I also have Forza Motorsport 5. So they just rebooted this one after doing 6, 7, and then I think 8 was the reboot or something
6, 7.
Oh my God. So it's like these are the 2 I got, and then after that they never really did that ever again.
I think my Gravity Rush for the Vita is actually like one of those. It doesn't have a real like art case on it. It just kind of says it's like scribbled on with a marker what it is. Like
I love that.
Yeah, I had a few like that. Not too often though.
Okay. Oh yeah, I think a couple more here. EP Idiot Box. PSA: donate cardboard boxes to your zoo. Keepers clean them up and use boxes to make enrichment for animals. Sounds odd, but trust me. Like EP Idiot Box, you would know how many boxes do they really need. If I show up there with all of the Amazon packages, boxes that my wife has acquired from the last month of her life, would they take all of them? Or what? And you put that in chat. Andrew Panton with the last super chat here says, y'all make truly awesome content across everything you do. Thank you all so much for all of the entertainment. I wish everyone an amazing 2026. Thank you so much, Andrew. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Andrew, appreciate that.
And
Great year.
And I've noticed quite a significant handful of signups to the Game Mess Patreon in the last week. And thank you, everybody who's doing that. It's, we kind of run a small operation over here. We can only dedicate so much, but I think when people show up and do that, it's them saying, no, we're thankful for what you do. And we're going to keep it up in 2026. And there's always plans to do more and bring back some stuff. But we'll try to line everything up and keep delivering on what we already have promised, like episodes of Columbros and things like that.
Right.
All right.
And I know everybody game club discussion here soon too, so try to get that scheduled pretty soon here.
Yep, everyone always is pretty understanding about us just kind of having to make things work on a timeline that makes sense. So thank you for that as well. We really appreciate it. Okay, Mike, no more super chats. Back over to you.
All right. Well, looks like that's gonna do it then for us. Good stuff. I enjoyed the first annual Woofies. Please gotta remember to do another Woofies.
Okay, Google. Remind me to do the Woofies 1 year from now.
Okay, good. Remind me to do the Woofies.
I'm going to be like, what is this?
All right. Oh, fuck, tomorrow's Wednesday. God,
it's time, Mike. It's time to go back into the Blight Mines.
Leisure Suit Larry. Oh, my God.
I don't know if people didn't hear. It was very funny. All the people that walked up to Mike at Awesome Games Done Quick and said, "I'm sorry about Leisure Suit Larry." Multiple people.
I just can't believe we have somehow only now found the worst game ever.
it's shocking that we keep finding a new bottom, but here we are. Absolutely.
Hey, check out that Monday morning Business Mystery Start. I thought we had a good time.
Good place to jump in. Bye, everybody.
It's Donald Duck for real?
It's just too easy.
Just so excited to see Donald Duck in Kingdom Hearts.
I would have sex with any lizard person that wanted to, and it was they paid less. Clean read.